Hi everyone, we've come back to tractors again today. Here we have my son's Model H. We've just recently painted it primer grey, and I think we'll put a green coat on it today. It's a good day for it, not windy, and it's been damp outside, so there's not too much dust blowing around. And I'm also getting sick of people asking me if I've got a little grey Fergie in the shed. So, to be fair, it had a good paint job on it really. It didn't really needed painting, but when I got it, the engine didn't run properly. So we decided to sort the engine out, and had a gearbox problem as well, which we sorted. So obviously doing that work, you're not paint off screws and bolt heads and things get scratched, so I thought it would be nothing of a job just to repaint it. So that's what we've decided to do. So once I get the chassis in this painted, we can start putting it back together, and it'll be another one, running one, add to the collection hopefully. It did start when we got it, but it was just never running right. The governor had issues, carburetor had issues. Usual 3 inches of sludge in the bottom of the crankcase. So yeah, giving it a good service. So that's what we'll do this afternoon, I think. Get it back to green. In here we have that B that I've shown you recently. The engine, I've still not been able to free the engine off. I've used various things poured into the cylinders, from diesel, kerosene, hell, I even bought some WD-40 and poured that in, but still nothing. So I think we're going to have to take the block off and take the pistons. Obviously the pistons and rods will come out with the block, and we'll push them out on the press. Luckily it's got seized where the big ends are easily gettable to. Sometimes it can seize with the big ends down in the bottom of the crankshaft, crankcase even, and they're very difficult to reach, but this one thankfully is seized in a good spot. It's fairly good, the rest of it, really. It's not no problems at all really. It just wants, stripping and rebuilding. It's on these cut-off wheels, as I mentioned before, which I rather like. They're a bit different. I went to a tractor show the other week, and there was nothing like this there. There was a lot of A's and hand start A's and B's, but no electric starts. And there certainly was nothing with cut-offs on. If you're wondering what I mean by cut-off wheels, back in the 30s and 40s when these tractors came out, I mean, this is a styled John Deere B. But the American farmer, he seemed to like the steel cut-off wheels. So these tractors would have come out originally on full steel wheels with lugs on. And as pneumatics came along, came a bit cheaper, what you did was you sent your tractor back to the factory or your local blacksmith, and he would cut the steel rim off, weld you a new rim on, one which would take a tyre, and you get what you see, the result that you see here. I wouldn't say they're the most strongest of wheels, but there again, the tractor wasn't designed for pulling big weights anyway, so I rather like them. They're different, they look pretty cool, I reckon. Tractor, the serial number says it's 1940, a late 1940 tractor, 41, 40. Serial number's original, you can tell it's original, but I have issues with that really, because it's got a 6-speed gearbox on it. Well, they didn't come in until I think the late 1941 time. So the problem with these tractors that are 70 and 80 year old, you don't know what people have done with them in the past. Someone might have added this 5th and 6th gear. It did happen. These wartime tractors are difficult. to date really, because what I say, they were built out of a spare parts bin, what they had available at the time. I mean, it's definitely got the cast iron frame on it, so which was fitted during the war years because of the shortages of steel, but it hasn't got the pressurised radiator, which was another thing that was fitted during that time. So they are difficult to date. I don't care what people say on the internet. These wartime tractors were a bit of a bitzer, mix and match, I reckon. So, but we will rebuild it as it is. It is what it is, and I'll rebuild it as it is, and it'll look well. It'll look good. I hope to do a few more videos of me stripping it down, and keep a record of what we do. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.